Victory Sunday. We are back. Now, before we get into this recap, a quick word from our sponsor, BetUS.
BetUS, America's favorite sports book, where you can bet on everything, anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right, get a 125% sign-up bonus. And to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we are giving up to 30 risk-free bets, a truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.
So the Jaguars were 6.5-point favorites going into this game. And look, the Jaguars crushed it. The Jaguars won 34-14. And look, the Jaguars move on to 7-3 on the season, as well as 7-3 against the spread. The rule of thumb is that when the Jaguars win, they cover. When they lose, they do not cover. So yeah, with this one, man, the Jaguars kill the Titans. And look, if you guys are interested in getting in on any of this wagering action, no matter what wager you guys want to put down, BetUS is the place to do it. And they are going to give you a 125% deposit bonus, which can be found right in the description box down below. And the cool thing about BetUS is that, look, you're going to get 24-hour payouts, okay? Quick payouts. If you guys want to withdraw your money, you guys can very, very quickly. So shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video and offering the service. And with all that said, let's get into this recap. So the Jaguars defeat division-hated rivals, the Tennessee Titans, 34-14. And the Jaguars move on to 7-3 on the season and 3-1 in the division, which this gives us 3 wins in a row against the Titans, spanning back from 2022. And it also sets us up for a potential sweep as the Jaguars play the Titans week 18 in Nashville. And generally those games, the really bad teams find ways to lose. So hopefully, that one is going to be an easy dub for the Jaguars. And look, this now gives us a 1-game lead in the AFC South. Now, it's crazy that 7-3 only gives you a 1-game lead in the AFC South. Not something many people predicted, but here we are. And as the Houston Texans are now 6-4, and they are red hot. So yeah, with this game, much needed bounce back game. Look, we've been on the other end of this very often times. Even just last week, we were on the bad end of a bounce back kind of game. But this time, at the Jaguars got whooped by the San Francisco 49ers. It was a depressing week. It was a week where, look, not many people wanted to ingest Jaguars content. Not many people wanted to talk Jaguars football because, mainly because of offensive issues. It was like, okay, like, is Trevor Lawrence that good? Where's our wide receivers? Why is our O-line so bad? What is going on with our coaching? But this one, look, this was an awesome game, and you got to give a shout out to Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence balled out today, 24 for 32 on the day, 75% completion percentage. That led us to 262 yards passing, 4 total touchdowns, 2 passing, 2 rushing, 0 turnovers on the day. So just an awesome game for Trevor Lawrence. He spread the ball all around the field. We got a big Calvin Ridley day, 7 receptions for 103 yards, 2 touchdowns for Calvin Ridley. He even had a nice rushing gain on a reverse. So that was cool. Christian Kirk, 3 receptions, 48 yards. Evan Ingram, 4 receptions for 29 yards. And Zay Jones was back this game. That was a surprising one this morning. We're like, okay, we got Zay Jones back. I know it's been an eventful week, to say the least. But he looked a lot better today in black than he did the other day in orange, as he put up 4 receptions for 20 yards. And look, 7 different guys today with receptions. So Trevor Lawrence was wheeling and dealing, spreading the ball all around. And look, this game, the rushing game wasn't that great. You can kind of tell that the Titans were kind of going into this game being like, all right, we're going to let Trevor Lawrence throw the ball. We're going to let Trevor Lawrence beat us. And Trevor Lawrence beat them. They held down the run game. ETN had 14 carries for 52 yards. That was 3.7 yards per carry. And it wasn't a great running game, but it allowed for the passing game to open up, and the Jaguars just completely whooped the Titans' ass. I mean, it was as simple as that. Some things I liked, I'd really like seeing them move around Calvin Ridley a lot more. Previously, and this is something I was saying, like, they just sticking him to the outside, not moving him around at all, not taking him in motion. This game we saw a lot more motion with Calvin Ridley. We saw him playing the slot even a little bit more. We gave it to him on a reverse, and look, he got going, man. He put up some good stats today. So that was really good to see. And I liked the Dearness Johnson usage. And, we finally were able to kind of spell Travis Etienne a little bit. And Dearness Johnson is a really good running back. Look, he gives you a lot more than kind of Tank Bigsby seems to give you at this point. And he had a really nice reception, too, on a 4th and 4, that led the Jaguars into the red zone. So Dearness Johnson, overall, just a good football player. And I hope to see kind of him. And we had him kind of in on series. Like, it was like Dearness Johnson series, and then it was Travis Etienne series. I hope we can continue to kind of use the running backs in that way. And this game, the pass protection was good. When Trevor Lawrence drove down the field for a touchdown play. And I was like, oh my God, you know what happened there? Trevor Lawrence had time to throw it, and he had time to throw, and he completed it, and it was awesome. It was just really, really fun game overall. Wide receivers are back and healthy, including Zay Jones and even Parker Washington, a day 3 pick for the Jaguars. He was back there returning punts. So it was good to see that. And look, the Jaguars scored on 5 straight possessions and, finished with 389 total yards on the day. It was a really good day. And defensively, you could tell from the very first snap that this defense had absolutely no respect for the Tennessee Titans and their passing game. I mean, the very first play, there were like 9 guys in the box. So they went all out to stop Derrick Henry, and it worked. Derrick Henry had 10 carries for 38 yards, which is the same amount of yardage as Chris Moore had on 1 reverse for 38 yards. So Derrick Henry was a complete non-factor today. The linebackers played really well. Devin Lloyd and Aluakin were all over the place. Trayvon Walker, I thought, had a good game. Monteric Brown stepped in pretty well for Tyson Campbell, outside of one little jump ball to DeAndre Hopkins, and it was a good game. Will Levis, 13 for 17, 76% completion percentage, only 158 yards passing. He had 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. He has a pretty bad offensive line. Kind of hard to evaluate him. Maybe we'll see him a little bit more. Maybe he is the answer at quarterback, but right now, you just don't know with the Tennessee Titans. So, yeah, when the Jaguars this game, look, the Jaguars went up 27-0 this game, and they just kind of sat on it, which is why the final score was 34-14. So, yeah, the Titans went and scored 14 on 14-7 scoring run. But at that point, when you're up 27-0 in the fourth quarter, it's game over. There ain't nothing going to happen. And, we just went in there and whooped the Titans' ass. And look, I know the Titans are bad, but we can all appreciate going out there and defeating our hated rivals, the Tennessee Titans. We've had a lot of bad history. And look, Tennessee Titans have showboated all the time when the Jaguars in 2019, 2020, when the Jaguars were awful and they went in there and beat us. Look, they were out there celebrating all the time. But now, look, we are a much better team than the Titans. The Titans are straight up awful right now. And it was a good game to kind of win. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And look, special teams, got to end with special teams. I mean, McManus, we finally have one of those field goal kickers that is automatic. Look, this guy doesn't miss. Every kick is right up the middle. He was 2 for 2 on field goals, 4 for 4 on extra points. Shout out to Ross Matzik. Forced fumble and a fumble recovery. Love that. Love that so much. And when you look at this, man, AFC South is super tight right now. The Jaguars are 7-3, Texans are 6-4, and even the Indianapolis Colts are 5-5. And look, guys, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, I am joining the very first AFC South roundtable. We're going to be talking all about the AFC South. So, guys, in the description box, I've left the link for the channel. AFC South Roundtable is what the channel is called. I'll be on there every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Going to be a really, really fun show, and I'll be representing the Jaguars as we hopefully go down and win the AFC South and host more playoff games. That's the goal. That's the goal, man. So, yeah, shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. Like I said, 125% deposit bonus, as well as quick 24-hour payouts. So a lot of good stuff going on in there. Thank you for them for sponsoring. And also, thank you to the Jaguars for avenging last week's game and leaving a good taste in our mouths as we win in dominating fashion in the Everbank Stadium. I know a lot of people have season tickets, and they were 1 and I believe 3 before this game in Everbank. So now you guys get a good little W. And look, we're feeling good about ourselves as we're 7-3, tremendous record going into the most important game of the season, honestly, next week against the Houston Texans. So going to be a lot of fun. Drop a like for me on your way out. Go Jags.